although the old man is usually easy to get along with. But then I saw a crocodile. The whole person became very serious. Even looking at the crocodile, my eyes started to glow with gold. It's because of the crocodiles. There are all kinds of treasures everywhere. Crocodile skin doesn't just make bags. The flesh on your body can still make delicious food. When the sun rises again, a new day comes. The hunters began to set out. The ranking of the maximum average crocodile has changed. Daniel and Dorian are also on their way to the hunt. It's full of crocodiles and big crocodiles. Daniel found a lot of crocodile eggs there. But that's all transparency. This proves that the male crocodiles in those waters are sterile. The two men decided to catch him to better manage the crocodiles here. By this time, they had reached the first trap. Daniel sails, and right away, Dorian stepped forward and pulled up the rope. With the crocodile in sight, Dorian also began to fight him, because that's their first thing today. The two are in great spirits. Soon the crocodile was sent to heaven and started pulling it toward the boat. Although the fish looked small, but it's also a 9-foot alligator. This allowed both men's results to remain unaffected. It can be found after examination. That's not the goal of this trip. She still has the ability to reproduce. And on the other side, Luron and Pork Chops got a call for help. That's his good brother's kids, and the kids in this neighborhood. He was attacked by a crocodile while swimming. He doesn't get bitten, but he often follows. This made the two men very worried about this problem. As for this kind of problem, Luron said, "I will take out the spirit of 12. Protect the budding flowers." For this reason, the speed of both men has not slowed down from the beginning, until I saw a very active crocodile. The two men quickly sailed forward. The pork chop also pulled the crocodile out of the water. Then Luron noticed that there were alligators behind him, but only the one in front of us, to keep them safe while they're still there. This time Luron's shot is very fast, and with the death of this crocodile, these waters are a little less dangerous. But this crocodile was only 800 meters from the community. This has made the two men very wary now, and Willie Edwards at the same time. The hunt was hard after little Willie left, and he found himself at the bottom of the rankings. So, he decided to go to his secret place and take out the triangle hook again. After multiple falls, Willie's boat had an accident, but fortunately, it's not a problem. The engine didn't shut down, but that's what Willie found out. The water here starts to get shallower and shallower. That forced him to pick up the pace. With success entering the waters, Willie ran into an alligator head-on, quickly threw out his triangle hook, and began to pull it to the side of the boat. But this crocodile is very powerful. Plus, he's rolling around in the water. This made Willie miserable on the boat. But because this crocodile is so big, Willie didn't want to give up, so he kept going. And then suddenly, there was an opportunity. Fortunately, Willie managed to catch it. Otherwise, this is the size of the head alone. The crocodile will be far away from him. And it's still hard for Willie to get this one on board. But this 12-foot alligator, it helped him climb back up the rankings. And on the other side, there's Troy and Kimchi. The two arrived at their destination. It doesn't say anything magical about it, right? But looking at Troy, he had it all figured out. This isn't a bad place to be. And as the two of them moved forward, they also came to a loaded trap. But as they approached, they found the crocodile on the shore. Troy quickly took his gun. I set foot on land alone. But when they got close, the crocodile suddenly ran forward. This gave both men a fright. But the rope was still on the alligator, so Troy can slowly approach and aim. And when he wasn't looking, one shot went off. Then Troy stepped forward and pulled the crocodile into the boat. Although this fish is only 8 feet long, but Troy still thinks there must be something better inside. But it will take time. At the same time, Ronnie and Timmy, since the ranking has been behind these days, for the 350 tags that were awarded, the two must catch some large crocodiles. So they decided to head to the waters they trusted most, pull the giant crocodiles on board, with the two men driving for an hour. At last, we reached the first trap. Timmy immediately stepped forward to hook the rope. After giving it to Ronnie, the crocodile was also pulled out. And that's when I saw the size of the crocodile. This got Ronnie so excited he started talking shit. And keep it on the side of the boat. And crocodiles are in this environment. I got a direct shot from Timmy. It makes people feel very depressed. Look at this 10-foot alligator. The two became very happy. Although the crocodile is missing a section of its tail. But it still helped them both in the rankings. And Daniel and Dorian, on the other side, in order to ensure the normal reproduction of this population, the two are still hunting hard. Those sterile crocodiles. But both men are now physically normal. This caused both men some distress. We can only hope that this trap falls. It's the target or we'll bust the whole place. After Daniel picked up the gun, Dorian also pulled the crocodile out of the water. And as soon as it appeared, it began to roll. But in front of sophisticated Daniel, or just go to sleep, even though this 9-foot alligator, it helps their ranking, but that wasn't the goal of the trip either. They now have to make some changes, or those giant, sterile crocodiles won't catch them. The camera goes to Luron and the pork chop, still being a hero to the kids, trying to catch those nasty crocodiles. As Luron pulls the boat to a halt, pork chop will also come forward and start laying out the bait. Because this is too much responsibility, the two men decided to increase the lure. So the pork chop turned that full of fishy blood water, fell near a trap, to attract nearby crocodiles. I don't know if it's going to work, but the results are sure to come soon too. And Willie on the other side, due to the sudden drop in the water level today, this leads him to some place on the way. You have to go through the path of scraping the bottom again. But then Willie suddenly spotted the tracks of crocodiles. So he quickly sailed close and throw the triangle hook out of your hand. Unfortunately, I missed my first shot, but it worked the second time. It's a little hard to pull though, but Willie pulled him over to the boat and found a great opportunity. I just gave him a peanut and this 10-foot crocodile. It also managed to get it off the bottom of the list, with the crocodile being pulled into the boat. Willie also began to leave the area, but the process has not been smooth. On the way, the ship successfully ran aground. Willie's angry eyes flashed stars, but there was no way, so he got off the ship, started trying to push the boat out, but the ship did not move. Then Willie went back to the ship, threw one of the crocodiles off the boat, and this time it did. So Willie quickly pushed the boat back into the water. The crocodile was then pulled back into the boat again. In this way, Willie solved the difficulty at hand. At the same time, Troy and Kimchi, the pair have yet to catch a giant alligator, but they don't want to give it up, so I came to a trap again. Kimchi immediately starts pulling on the crocodile, pulled him out the back, and started fighting him. But this crocodile is a little more ordering. Only his ancestral skills die and roll. And pickles like this are all in each other's hands. It didn't take long for Troy on the other side to find an opportunity. Sent this crocodile to heaven. After killing this big fish, they found it was only 8 feet long. This is making Troy feel a little worse. A place you trust so much. And Ronnie and Timmy on the other side, after harvesting a number of giant crocodiles, basically succeeded in getting out of the countdown position. But this is more than no two people become lax. On the contrary, the whole person is more positive. Timmy gave the rope to Ronnie. He grabbed his gun right away to keep Ronnie safe from the side. But the crocodile put up more of a fight than they thought. Almost got Ronnie, a one-time love rival, on the right track. But the good thing is Timmy's a great guy. Not only did he manage to kill the crocodile on one side, and we see that this one is about 11 feet long, but this crocodile is also missing a section of its tail. This started to confuse Ronnie. Thought there might be a super crocodile here too. They named him Napoleon, and at the same time Luron and pork chops. After accepting a request for help from the local community, efforts are still underway to capture the crocodile. After all, they're still too dangerous for children. For this reason, two people dare not have the slightest slack. This makes the pork chop a string. They all become incredibly brave and fast. And this atmosphere made Luron feel. I didn't even look at it, but it has to be said that both of them are lucky. Successfully killed the crocodile in the water, even though this one is only 7 feet in size. But at the speed of 2. I'm sure kids here won't have to worry about crocodiles soon. And Daniel and Dorian on the other side, still looking for sterile crocodiles. It just took that long. Still no success. But there was nothing they could do. Can only pray that the trap in front of us is the goal of this trip. As the two of them get closer, found this crocodile relaxing in the sun. The two angry gun on the shore, and started flirting with the alligator. But this one's a real pussy too, just lying there like a fool, waiting for two people to take aim and shoot. After successfully killing this one, Daniel immediately went to check it out. Turns out this one's probably infertile. So the two quickly pulled him into the boat. Daniel was also very happy to catch the crocodile. At the same time, Troy and Kimchi, a brand new bait, is being prepared. Although I don't know why they suddenly did it. But look at the smiley face of Kimchi. I guess there's a reason for that. And Ronnie and Timmy on the other side. And he's tracking that Napoleon. Although they don't know where it is now. But it's certainly in these waters. How else could several alligators have short tails? Then the two men suddenly saw a huge alligator. Timmy quickly began to take the triangle hook. Ronnie moved the boat closer. But the crocodile dives back into the water. This operation has made both of them stupid. But the good thing is the crocodile left a trail. Timmy quickly threw the hook. After successfully snagging it, the crocodile suddenly began to pull wildly. Get the rope out of Timmy's hands. Although Ronnie made a good catch. But the crocodile broke free from above. So the two immediately stuck to continue to observe. But the truth is they lost the crocodile. And at the same time, Luron and pork chops came to a trap. Luron looked at the passionate crocodile. They were very happy. Figured if we caught this gator, the dangers faced by children in the community, that would be a big reduction. The pork chop was able to keep the crocodile at bay. Although this fish is very strong, and it doesn't stop rolling. But with the pork chop, Luron still found an opportunity. Successfully killed the giant alligator. And this 12-foot alligator, the two believe in today's community, will become more secure and stable. And Willie on the other side, now also got a lot of harvest. We're still a little short of catching up on first place. But now it's close. And in order to be one step closer, Willie, after pulling the alligator out of the water, I began to draw my gun. Although this crocodile has some strength, but not so good in the head, Willie's been holding him to the boat the whole time, until he took a bullet. And this 10-foot crocodile not only let it successfully fill in the label, it also took it even further up the rankings. At the same time, Troy and Kimchi, checking for new traps. It turned out that before the two found the deep water, the two set new traps there. Let's see if there are any more giant crocodiles here. As they reached the first trap, they saw a giant alligator too. and a very active one. Kimchi quickly grabbed the rope and keep it on the side of the boat. But this fish is not so honest. He's been moving around in the water. The strength of Kimchi's hand was also increased. This is exactly the change. Troy managed to find an opportunity, killing the crocodile in the water. And with the death of this crocodile, it also proves that the change of two people is right. Now Daniel and Dorian, still looking for the infertile crocodiles. Although I saw a lot of dinosaurs on the road, but these are clearly not the size of sterile crocodiles. We can only hope for the pitfalls ahead. As the two get closer, it turns out this crocodile is basking in the sun. This Dorian gas goes straight to the shore. Then little boobs started circling, ran behind the crocodile, put a gun to the alligator's head. He just shot him and sent him to heaven. And a crocodile this big, definitely the king of these swamps. But now it's an item on a two-man boat, and Ronnie and Timmy on the other side, still remorseful about the alligator he lost. But when you see the big booby trap, the whole regret dissipated in an instant. Quickly came forward to pull up the rope, and pulled the crocodile from the water to the surface. And this big fish is like a powder keg. The resistance became fierce. Although it makes Ronnie on one side a little uncomfortable, but Timmy on the other side is really good. Didn't let it fly for long. You see an opportunity, and you kill it. They work together to pull it out. Look at this very large crocodile. The pair found that the tail was perfectly intact. It was immediately clear that this was Napoleon. And on the other side, there's Troy and Kimchi. Got a lot of harvest, but there's still one trap left to check. In order to catch this crocodile early, the movement of the two men was very fast. Kimchi doesn't just pull it out and keep it on the side of the boat, but then the crocodile suddenly began to exert itself, almost pulled the pickle into the water. But the technology is very good. Not just pull it back to the side. And it's the perfect opportunity for Troy. Had him pull a bullet right into the alligator. And this 11-foot alligator. A good indication of the success of the plan. Meanwhile, Luron and pork chops. And return to the community with the harvest from the ship. Showing those crocodiles to the people who asked for help. Let the other person can rest assured that the children swim freely in the waters. Although both have made remarkable contributions to the community. But the ranking has not increased, but decreased. Well, that's all for this program. Give it a thumbs up, and let's look forward to the next episode. You know, catching crocodiles in the swamp. How should I nest? Told you to be like the person in front of you. Cook your favorite peanuts in a place where giant crocodiles are common, so you can catch it, although it seems very simple. But the risk here is really small, as the hunters begin their preparations. It's time for a new day of hunting. Now, everyone's average for the largest crocodile is very close. And to make sure that his #1 position is not affected, the Landrys decided to change. Kimchi and Jacob are going hunting, and Troy is quietly enjoying life at home, with the two men swimming in the water for nearly an hour. Pickle and Jacob also saw the first trap, and the crocodiles up there are very active, and it doesn't look any smaller. This makes two people who just started working. It's the best way to start, although the crocodile kept fighting back, but it's still controlled by the excitement of Kimchi. Until Jacob takes aim. After pulling the crocodile out of the water, I realized this one was only 9 feet long. Can't help the Landrys, but it won't be a drag. And Bruce on the other side, and came to his favorite waters, and already standing in front of the trap, when the rope can be pulled out of the water. So Bruce scrambled to rearrange, and left this sad place. Although there are many crocodiles here, but Bruce wanted this one in front of him. It was a giant alligator that took the bait, not one of those little crocodiles. As Bruce steps forward and pulls the rope out, the crocodiles immediately fight back. It's a big move though, but it didn't bother Bruce. Even put a gun to an alligator's head. With the death of this giant crocodile, Bruce realized it wasn't a big one. But the good news is this alligator has a lot of injuries. And this is evidence that there may be giant crocodiles nearby. Because there are only crocodiles that are too big. They often attack their own kind. As Bruce goes around and around, he came to a mysterious body of water. But there are no traps here, so he quickly began to work. And on the other side, Zach and Joey. And everything will be ready to finish. But the two had not yet set out to hunt. I had a problem first. The drumstick that was the bait hasn't thawed yet. But there seems to be no way now. Can only hunt with a triangle hook, waiting for the drumstick to melt. But now Zach is full of shame. I don't know if I can hook the alligator in front of me, with the triangle hook across the sky. Zach also managed to hook the alligator, but pulling back is very difficult. But I was able to pull it over to the boat. And the moment the crocodile comes out of the water, Joey just shot him. After pulling it out of the water, Zach became even more ashamed, because this crocodile is only 7 feet long. Not only can it help two people, they even drop ranks. After all, there is so much competition these days. And Daniel and Dorian on the other side came up with a way to increase the size of the crocodile. Throw the crab pot near the trap. That's what attracts the crocodiles. But Dorian has his doubts. But I chose to trust the swamp man. After all, there's still a lot of crocodiles caught. After all the crab pots have been placed, the two saw a hooked crocodile. So he quickly sailed close. Dorian also pulled the crocodiles on the shore to the boat, provide a good opportunity for Daniel. But this crocodile is desperate to get on board. This made Daniel very happy. After all, it's rare for crocodiles to take such initiative. Just put the barrel forward and gently put him to sleep. Although this active crocodile is small in size, it even affects the rankings. But the plan has only just been implemented. I can't see the effect yet, and I have to accept the result. At the same time, Anna and Ashley, on their way to mysterious waters. The two had never been there, but Ashley studied it. There were a lot of giant crocodiles there. This led to the two not continuing their research. So I flew out into this body of water. But then they found something good. There are crocodile tracks on the shore, and judging by its size, it's a giant crocodile. Ashley quickly set a trap right here, hoping to get him to take the bait, but they did not want to wait in that silly. So the two started hanging around. Every trace we found, they're all booby-trapped. And on the other side, Zach and Joey, still waiting for the leg to thaw naturally. And in the meantime, Zach wants to fix it, but it might be a little difficult just with a triangle hook and a hook. But he couldn't think of any other way. Can only constantly observe the surrounding water. They soon found the crocodile. So Zach quickly throws the hook and pull it to the side of the boat. But this crocodile is just too strong. Not just taking Zach for a walk. He ripped the hook off his body. I mean, this Zach guy's got to throw a shot. Good shot at the crocodile again. But this fish isn't a vegetarian either. I almost pulled my fishing rod into the water. Seeing Zach is a little overwhelmed. Joey threw the triangle hook too. Soon the two men worked together to pull him to the surface. And, just out of the moment, two people found this one that was really big. Zach on this side is happy. He just pulled out his pistol and pulled the trigger the moment the alligator comes out of the water. With the death of this giant crocodile, two people quickly pulled it to the boat. Although this crocodile made it onto the boat, but Zach bites to save the situation. It's still quite a distance. And on the other side, there's Pickles and Jacob. Efforts are being made to catch the crocodile. So Jacob started loading early. Make sure you don't remember it later. As the two men come to another trap, Kimchi quickly stepped forward and pulled up the rope and pulled the angry crocodile to the surface. Although the crocodile is still struggling downstream, but the face of Kimchi came to pull. It was brought to the surface, and Jacob took the opportunity to do the same. Although this is the first time the two have worked together, but they are also very tacit. After Kimchi has rearranged the trap, both men began to move on to the next spot, and Bruce on the other side, after setting traps in these waters. Now start checking them for crocodiles. Follow Bruce to the first trap. After seeing a crocodile, immediately step forward and pull up the rope. And the crocodile also appeared at the moment. I started rolling and breaking free. But Bruce has it, and it didn't work. It's even controlling the side of the boat. And once Bruce had it under his control, he picked up his gun and began to aim at the crocodile's head. As soon as we get it out of the way, we start pulling it to the boat. But because of the size of this crocodile, you have to tie a rope to him first, then slowly pull it to the boat. And this 11-foot alligator, that's what Bruce needs right now. At the same time, Ashley and Anna also started looking at the traps, although there's a good chance they'll catch a big fish. But all this is not 100%, so they prayed for the trap before them. It was a very large crocodile that took the bait, and as Anna pulls the crocodile out of the water, the two also see that this body is not small and very strong. He was running around with the boat, but under Anna's control. He was pulled back to the boat, got Ashley shot straight to heaven after pulling it out, but it turns out this one's big too. But it wasn't up to the standard the two wanted. So Ashley decided to make a change. Put the bait that was hanging in the air on the ground, and Daniel and Dorian on the other side. Then I noticed something. That's when the crab pot is pulled to the kinshore. So they were in the neighborhood right away. Sure enough, the traps in here are loaded, but you don't know what it looks like. But as Dorian pulls the crocodile out of the water, the two men found the giant crocodile. Daniel quickly ran to the side. Start reloading the gun in your hand. Then he ran back and took careful aim at the crocodile's head. But in spite of this Dorian control, the crocodile fought back too hard. Never got a good shot. This makes Daniel anxious to the side of the constant urging, and that made Dorian work harder. Direct as a force, he pulled the crocodile into the air, and Daniel jumped at the chance. Let this crocodile sleep in peace. With this 11-foot alligator pulling into the boat, proved that their plan was a success. Those crab pots still have a hill effect, but Daniel wasn't satisfied with that one. And Joey and Zach on the other side. The two are hungry now, so he stopped the boat in the shade. And Zach took out a bag of stuff and handed it to Joey, but you don't know what it is. After taking one out and breaking it open, I realized it was boiled peanuts, but it tastes terrible. Then the whole person was silent. He pulled out his big sausage, walked to one side, and ate in silence. Comfort the mutilated tongue. At the same time, Ashley and Anna found a trap with a crocodile in it. Ashley quickly sailed the boat over. Anna also began to pull the crocodiles out of the water. And in that moment, the crocodile opened Ashley's gun. What a clever fish it is. To know that this is what brings death. But what good would that do? Anna still holds it to the side of the boat, and Ashley saw an opportunity. I just paid a bullet for it. in this 9-foot crocodile. It also proves that the two men set the trap is a completely correct performance. This is good for the two men to sprint for the ranking. And Bruce on the other side, and came across a trap. He hurried forward to hook the rope. After pulling the crocodile out of the water, I can see that this one is not small size. This made his whole excited person start to shout. He even shot an alligator with a gun. They were never given a chance to react. And this crocodile is nearly 12 feet long, although it does help his ranking. But today's ships weigh a lot. This allowed him to come in from the shallows. Probably won't be able to get out for a while. And on the other side, Kimchi and Jacob, there are still 10 traps left to look at in order to be able to leave work early and rest. The speed of the two is very fast. Jacob just docked the boat. The pickle pulls the crocodile out of the water. I started playing games with him. At this point, Jacob also picked up a gun to shoot him on the side. And think of two people so quickly. That's very rare. Zach and Joey at the same time, while waiting for the drumsticks to defrost. Several crocodiles have been caught on hooks. This has the two of them very excited now. Even see the front of the leisurely crocodile after. Quickly set sail to the other side. And Zach looked far enough away. He threw the hook, successfully hook it in, but this crocodile is too strong. Joey quickly sailed closer. When I got there, I threw the triangle hook myself. Together, they pull him straight to the surface. Although the crocodile kept rolling in the water, but with Zach's incredible shooting skills, still failed to dodge the bullets. Because the hook is in the mouth of the crocodile. To avoid accidental injury, they pulled the leg and pulled it into the boat. And this 12-foot crocodile, just right, is what their team needs most. And Daniel and Dorian on the other side, they had a very pleasant day. Not only did they catch a lot of crocodiles, and they're not small, but this is true for the entire population of crocodiles. And a very good thing. After all, there are fewer giant crocodiles. The survival rate of the pups now, that's a huge improvement. As the two men come to a new trap, Dorian steps in and pulls the crocodile out. Daniel left his seat too, stood next to Dorian with a gun. Be ready to give the gator a gift. But because the giant crocodiles resist too hard, Dorian kept it at bay for a long time. Daniel typed the gift, and this 12-foot alligator, just the size they want. After all, a crocodile like this. Now that's one catch, and one less. And Ashley and Anna on the other side, and fill up his own boat. But the two still have traps to check, so we just keep hunting crocodiles. But when the two men saw the giant crocodile, the whole thing just got super excited. As Anna pulls the crocodile to the surface, the two also saw this huge body. That's when Anna and Ashley. It was so exciting. It's even starting to get a little perverted. But then Ashley killed him. Their expressions also returned to normal. But catching a crocodile this big, they were both very excited. And Bruce on the other side, after getting a great harvest, and now he's on the run. But after coming into the shoal, the boatload of crocodiles became a liability. Got Bruce's boat stuck in the road. After I couldn't get out anyway, Bruce then decided to put the crocodile on the boat. Let's get some of them down and see if we can move them. After putting the crocodile aside, Bruce just twisted the throttle. The whole ship went away in one whoop. Bruce quickly turned the ship around. Get those crocodiles back on the boat. After all, this is knife music. Each one is the result of labor. Can't give up so easily. And at the same time, Kimchi and Jacob. Now there's one last trap left. In order to be able to leave work early and rest, two people ran over without stopping. Soon he found the tree in front of him. There's a big crocodile down there. With the Kimchi, hold the rope in your hand. It was as if the crocodile sensed it and started swimming like crazy, trying to pull Kimchi off the boat. But obviously that didn't work. They were even pulled to the surface, exposing his whole head to Jacob. And that made him smile. He saw the right moment and fired. After pulling the 11-foot crocodile into the boat, two people successfully finished the work today. Although this is the first time the two have worked together. But the rewards are plentiful. And Joey and Zach on the other side. Now the bait is in the trap, but it's getting late, although they caught a lot of crocodiles. But today is likely to be the night. Soon they were at the trap, with Joey grabbing the rope. It was handed over to Zach, and the gator was pulled out. This one, though, is not a big fight. Just kept wanting to get on the boat, bite two people's feet, and make them amputate. This Zach guy just took a hard shot at it. Joey on the other side shot him, and this 10-foot crocodile gets on board. They also managed to hit 3 of these, but they still have a lot of traps to look at. This is likely to put Edgar's home in the rankings. I'm right there in first place, and at the buyer Duffy's house. Pickle and Jacob begin to count the crocodiles. Although both men have gained a lot, but Kimchi kind of misses Troy, after working with him for too long. With today's hunt over, Landry and everyone else came in third, and Edgar managed to win first place. Well, that's all for this program. Give it a thumbs up, and let's look forward to the next episode. In the storm. It should be done to avoid a capsizing situation. Caught a lot of crocodiles. It's not that difficult. All you need is a good boat, plus an experienced hunter. You can catch a lot of giant crocodiles in these conditions. With a sudden storm, one by one, the hunter's prepared. Avoid capsizing in this swamp, and make your own crocodile draw value. In this rain we can rush up, and now Dorian and Daniel, and began the day's hunt. But 2 of them before the storm blows. Complete the capture of 50 lines to maintain the current number 1 position. As the 2 men came to the first trap, Dorian was desperate to pull out a crocodile. But the good thing about this fish is its violent reaction. Let 2 people see the hope of today. It also makes Dorian stronger. It's not just keeping crocodiles at the edge of the boat. Even gave Daniel a chance on the other side. I just hit the gator right in the face. And this 11-foot alligator let 2 people very happy, but only in this bad weather. Take this alligator that looks like it's covered in grease. Pulling the boat out of the water is not easy. Fortunately, the 2 were able to pull it out, but they still have to push on. At the same time, Ashley and Anna decided to stay in the swamp near home today to catch the big crocodiles. After all, after the storm, those crocodiles in the water will not appear at this stage. The 2 men came to a shallow beach. Anna immediately plunges the pole into the water and pulled it straight to the surface. And the appearance of crocodiles also revealed their ferocity, constantly rolling in the water, trying to pull Anna into the water. But the good news is that Anna's high-tech. No human crocodile has succeeded. But it also made Ashley on one side very angry. He quickly fired a shot at the crocodile. But this shot was a hit. This made me very surprised. That's a good shot to hit the alligator. I think this job is very easy. But look at this one that's about 11 feet tall. It still proves they're skilled. And Bruce on the other side, he came up with what he thought was a good idea. That is to come to the other side of the swamp. Stay out of the storm's path. I didn't even bring a raincoat, but I think Bruce might. Cold symptoms tomorrow. Follow Bruce to the first trap. Look at the rope that fell into the water. Quickly came forward to pull the crocodile out of the water. Although Bruce is fighting alone. But this crocodile doesn't seem to be putting up much of a fight. Bruce didn't just keep it under control. You even pick up the gun and shoot it. The crocodile doesn't even have a chance to react. And this 9-foot crocodile gets on board. A little disappointing for Bruce. After all, a crocodile of this size. It doesn't help their team. At the same time, Ronnie and Timmy, their team is finally getting better. Then the storm hit. This makes 2 people very uncomfortable. But the 2 could only try to race against time. Get ahead of the storm. Will look like the crocodiles in these traps. Pull them all to their boats. As Ronnie pulls the crocodile out of the water, they, too, began to wrestle with the monster. Although this crocodile keeps bumping into the boat. But it's also a great opportunity for both of them. Ronnie just yanked the alligator. Timmy was right there with the gator. To meet the god that might exist. And this 10-foot crocodile. Let the 2 see the ranking rise to hope. After all, this is number 1 today. But watch the storm approach. The 2 capture the crocodiles in the remaining traps. It's also starting to get harder. And on the other side, poor Chops and Luron, and the threat of this storm. But for the prize of being number 1. Neither of them wanted to stop, even to catch more crocodiles. Luron was flying with the poor Chops, right in front of a loaded trap. And poor Chop immediately pulls on the rope, and tell Luron to stand by and get ready. As the crocodile is pulled out of the water, its death roll is done out, even the pull of the poor Chop, and still keep insisting. But there's still a gun in Luron's hand, carried away by its direct blast. And this head is huge, and a 9-foot crocodile gets on board. They were very happy, but this constantly flashing thunder, but kept reminding them to speed up. Bruce is still hunting alone. I'm still confident in my plan. It's probably the only team out there right now, still basking in the sun in the swamp. With his trap setup complete, Bruce immediately moved on to the next location, and Ashley and Anna on the other side. Looking ahead at the darkening sky, 2 people instantly feel themselves. May not run out of time. I'll even be catching crocodiles in the rain soon. But now whatever. Let's just grab the one in front of us. As the 2 get closer, found this crocodile on land. It made them both a little uncomfortable. Ashley ran to get the gun, despite the warnings of this crocodile. But Anna was able to pull him back to the boat. And Ashley, on the other side, is also looking at the moment. One shot sends the crocodile to God. After pulling the crocodile on the boat, turns out this one's only 8 feet long. Ashley was instantly dumbfounded. I didn't realize the crocodile was so small. It's all about messing around. But now is not the time to feel bad. The other crocodiles must be caught soon, or it won't be too late. And Daniel and Dorian on the other side, about to face the baptism of torrential rain. But they still wouldn't leave, trying to work out the rest of the traps. But now the rain is falling, but they keep trying to get 2 people. That makes Dorian and Daniel. I had to pick up my pace. It's not just about keeping crocodiles at the edge of the boat and pull it out of the water. But this crocodile fought back. It's still too intense. It gave Daniel on the other side a long shot and put him to sleep, although the process is a little difficult. But with this 10-foot crocodile on board, still very happy for both of them. And now they're on a boat. It's filled with a lot of crocodiles. This made both of them less nervous. At the same time, Ronnie and Timmy, looking at the mostly black sky. Knew the rain was almost here. You have to pick up your pace. To the crocodiles who want to fall into this trap. All pulled to their boats one by one. As Ronnie pulls the gator out, the fight between the two began again. Although this crocodile is not very strong, but Ronnie still found it hard to deal with. This one is too energetic, constantly moving around in the water. But the good news is this crocodile doesn't know what the danger is, right? I found myself in Timmy's crosshairs. It was a straight shot to the head. I really did not expect. I can't believe there's such a stupid crocodile. But this fish is very small. This makes the two who have been forced by the torrential rain. The mood became very bad in an instant. And on the other side, poor Chops and Luron. But it's worse than Ronnie and Ronnie. Now they too are beginning to get caught in the rain. But they brought raincoats. But the poor Chop is a little grumpy. How could he not get it on? I'd rather get in the rain than get help from Luron. But the rain is not so heavy now. You can still see if the rope falls. Pull the crocodile out with the poor Chop. Luron also came to the boat in his raincoat, waiting for the crocodile in the rain, controlled by a poor Chop on one side. All of a sudden, Luron fired his gun. Get this crocodile out of the rain. It can be pulled out with the poor Chop. But it turns out that this giant crocodile is very small. So small that it's only 7 feet tall. But neither had time to wonder why. Must move on to the next trap as soon as possible. And Bruce on the other side of the swamp. It's riding safely along the river. I have to say he's probably right. Everyone else is already in the rain, and he was still dry. And you can clearly see the crocodile in the trap. Bruce is closing in. Immediately start pulling the crocodile towards the boat. But the giant alligator just got to the boat and did the unthinkable. I just jumped on my own boat. Although Bruce was scared into the water. But it also allowed him to get the gun. And you can imagine what happened to this crocodile. Even though this giant crocodile made it to the boat, but it still saved Bruce money, the strength to pull it into the boat. But he's just like any other hunter now. It's all wet and no longer dry. At the same time, Ashley and Anna, the two men moved closer to the storm. But now they've only caught a few alligators. This leaves the two men in desperate need of a giant crocodile. Or everything we've done today. It'll be a waste of time or even a drop in the rankings. As the two reached the trap again before, Anna found this crocodile in the shallows by the trap and hiding behind a pile of grass. They had to pull it out first, doing other things. As Anna pulls it out a little later, Ashley quickly killed him to protect it from the rain that is to come. Even though this crocodile is only 8 feet old, but now the two are no longer picky. After all, there is constant lightning. Always remind two people that the storm is coming. And Ronnie and Timmy on the other side. After hours of trying, suddenly, he came into the shade of a tree. Watched the two men take something out of the box. I thought it was a secret weapon at first. I didn't realize it was a sandwich. Looks like they're really hungry too. Otherwise, at such a critical time, sit and eat there. Meanwhile, Luron and poor Chops, although still in the nonstop field. But the two are still trying to hunt the crocodiles. Quickly pull up the rope before reaching the trap. Pull the crocodile out with the poor Chop. Look at the size of this giant alligator. Poor Chop quickly shoots Luron, although the crocodile's resistance was fierce. But in front of Luron, and got shot with a gun, even though they're still in the rain. But pull this crocodile into the boat. Still very happy. And Bruce on the other side. Look at the crocodiles everywhere. I feel more and more about today's decision. How right that is. But now the sky is beginning to appear dark clouds. This made Bruce instantly alert. But the problem with the storm, or the alligator in front of you. He hurried forward to arrest him. As Bruce prepares to put him to death, the crocodile suddenly ran into the water. Bruce just missed the boat. Can only pull it back up and look for new opportunities. But this crocodile looked stupid. I didn't move at the side of the boat. Just let Bruce die. He was then pulled onto the boat. But the boat is full of crocodiles. And Ronnie and Timmy on the other side. After a morning of arrests, the two will also face the baptism of the storm. Fortunately, there are few traps left. But in this heavy rain, they're still a little hard to hunt. Fortunately, it didn't last long. It didn't even last long after that. The rain began to stop, following the two men to a trap. Timmy quickly stepped forward and pulled the rope out. But the crocodile immediately began to fight back. This makes Ronnie on one side. Quickly took the rope, start fighting this alligator. But this one is really smart. I can't believe I ran under the boat. But Ronnie pulled him to the surface. I even pulled it up in the air. Have Timmy on the other side shoot him straight away, after pulling it to the side of the boat. But it turns out the crocodile wasn't very big. But now the ships are full. And Daniel and Dorian on the other side. The two are still hunting for crocodiles. Even in this rain, two people also enjoy this catch. Even seeing this trap right in front of me, Dorian quickly grabbed the rope. Although in this arrest, there was an accident with Daniel's gun, but it was handled in a timely manner. Or let this 10-foot alligator manage to break Dorian's grip. and Ashley and Anna on the other side. To a trap. Anna immediately stepped forward and pulled the rope, with the crocodiles coming to the surface. Anna immediately started pulling, although the crocodile is less resistant, but it still has a lot of strength. But on Anna's walk, the strength gradually becomes very small. It gave Ashley a chance on the side, and sent it straight to heaven, although the two eventually managed to pull him aboard. But look at this 8-foot crocodile. Let two people very uncomfortable. But look at the sudden wind. Quickly began to look for other traps. But then suddenly the rain began to fall. This made them think they should stop. So after an hour, two people running, finally back to the dock. Anna quickly tied the boat and ran back to the car with Ashley and Ronnie and Timmy on the other side, and still hunting for alligators in the swamp, following the two men to a trap. Look at the crocodile floating on the water. He hurried forward to control it at the side of the boat. As the second wave of the storm hits, looks like it's coming, two people quickly pulled it into the boat. And this 12-foot alligator, the success of the two people today's harvest, became the best of all the hunters. Maybe even shoot to number one. And on the other side, Luron and Pork Chops. Things began to look up for both of them, though it was still raining. But the two men's harvest is also very rich, even in the face of a giant alligator, and not as impetuous as before. They were treated with great care and caution. Pork Chop isn't just up against the tumbling crocodile. No more shouting. It's about keeping it under control. Let the side of Luron get a good output environment. With the death of this crocodile, the two men once again harvested a 10-foot crocodile. At the same time, Bruce. Now his boat is full of crocodiles. But look at the mullet in the sky. He knew his time was running out. But Bruce still wants to catch another one. For this he never stopped. Soon they came to a trap. Bruce quickly grabbed the rope and pulled the crocodile out of the water. Look at this small crocodile. Bruce was very upset. Can only pray for Luron and Pork Chop. You can get something today. Otherwise, we won't be able to move up the rankings. And Daniel and Dorian on the other side. Now I don't have to face the rain anymore. But he's still trying to catch a giant crocodile. To wrap up the day's work, after all this rain, the crocodile's under the water, and I'm starting to forage. As the two arrive at a trap, look at that very active crocodile. Dorian hurried forward and pulled him to the side of the boat. And get it out of the water, although the crocodiles have already appeared and started to fight like crazy. But it was Daniel on the other side who found the opportunity. He was sent straight to heaven, and a crocodile this big on a boat. Make two people very happy, although today has been a lot of hardships. But on the whole, it was rewarding, with the storm completely over. Ronnie and Timmy to celebrate. Make it through a dangerous day today. Timmy cooked a special meal, although the food is very simple. You don't look so good, do you? But to do something like this, it's also a very difficult thing to do. With today's hunt over, the rankings have also changed. The Luron team made it to the top, even if it's alongside Edgar. Well, that's all for this program. Give it a thumbs up, and let's look forward to the next episode.